Alright folks, on today's episode of The Unknown Mechanic, we are going to change the fuel filter out on this 1999 Mercury Mystique with the 6-cylinder 24 valve motor. First thing I'm going to do is, and I've already actually done it, is I went around to the engine compartment and looked up to see which fuse under the box here, fuse box, was went to the fuel pump, and I've already actually pulled it. What I did was it doesn't tell you in here, it does tell you a number, but it doesn't tell you which one they go to. So luckily this car still had the manual that came with it in glove box, and I looked it up. I think it's on page 140, and it told me which number is for the fuel pump, and on this one it happened to be number 14 right there. So I yanked that puppy out. It's a 15 amp fuse. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start the car and let it run until it runs out of gas. And that way we hopefully won't have a lot of gas spilling out of the old fuel filter when we pull it. So I'm going to go start this puppy up and let it run until it dies. And I'll be right back with you. Okay, so that ran for about a total of 5 seconds till it just stalled. And that means it's out of gas at the injectors. So now I'm going to disconnect the negative battery terminal. That way we ain't got no spark back there while we're messing around with the gas. Just a 10mm wrench on this one. Yank it right off, set it off to the side, just for safety. I've already put the car up on jacks, ramps I should say. A little easier, just back it up there. You're going to have access to the underneath of the passenger, which is the right hand side rear door, if it's a 4-door. Actually, I think these all are. And if you get up under here, oh, your filter is right in your face pretty much right there. It looks pretty easy. That little hose clamp there is what's holding it on. One screwdriver will handle that, and take the clips out of each end of the gas lines here. One there, inlet and outlet, and that should do it. So what I'm gonna do first is disconnect the gas lines while it's solid on there, and then I'll take off this band here. So it'll be solid for when you're pulling these things off, these gas lines. Right back. Alright guys, so this is the fuel filter it calls for on this model. It's a G3802A with the Fram filter, which is what I usually like to use for oil and anything really. These plastic clips, this is one of the new ones. I'll show you what it looks like. It's got teeth on the inside, as you can see, and I'll show you when I'm pulling it off, but just so you can see the mechanics of it, of how this, if I can get this stupid thing to focus, there we go. Mechanics of how it grabs on there. You see the teeth on the inside. What you got to do when you're pulling up on it is, there's a lip on the fuel filter. You got to spread those apart to clear the lip, and they're not hard to do that with. It's pretty flexible plastic. So let's look at the one that's on there, the old ones. And you could also break them off. Lots of people do. You got new ones that come with a filter anyways, but I usually don't like to break things if I don't have to. So what I did was just took my finger, if I can get it on the light here, and pushed out on each side of the plastic, and then with the screwdriver here, just pry it out, and it should come right out without breaking. Maybe. There it goes. But you know what? It broke. But whatever. I got new ones. So I'll pull the piece that broke out the other side. There it is. What's left of it. Okay, so whatever. Break them off. This thing. Actually, I'm going to pull the other one off the same way. Hopefully without breaking it. And then I'll come back to pulling these lines off. Get right back with you. Okay, so I'm 2 for 2 on breaking things around here. Hopefully you have better luck than I did. Like I said, it's not a big deal. We got new ones anyways. But I did get the other one off. It broke. Then again, this thing is, you know, a 99, and God only knows. We bought it second hand how long this fuel filter's been on here. Could be the original for all I know. So I'm gonna disconnect the lines now. And probably what I'm gonna do first is get a drip bucket in case any gas does come out. So let me get that and I'll be right back with you. Okay, I'm set up with my old drip pail here. Nothing fancy, but just enough to catch if anything comes out. I'm sure a little bit will, at least, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and first knock over my light, and then I'm gonna pull the lines off the end of this dude, and we will see what we got. So it should just pull straight off. Let's give that a shot. Yep, pretty easy. And we got a little bit of gas coming out. As to be expected. Just pulled straight off. Let's hit the other side same way. Grab that bad boy. Got a little bit more gas. Ooh, that let some come out the other side, so be aware of that. Probably because the car is tilted towards the front. It ran more out the front. There we go. It's draining out nicely. So that is just all that was left in the fuel filter. Looks like not a lot coming out of the lines at all. So while that's doing what that's doing, I'll take a screwdriver right here, or right here, like to say down here in the south, and loosen that bad boy. Pretty straightforward, ain't it? Even a caveman could do it. Alright. More gas. There's more in there than I thought was going to be. Okay. So that dude should pull right on out then. I'm going to pull it out. It's got a lip on one side, so you're going to pull it out this way, towards the driver's side, to get past that lip. It's hard to do with one hand, folks. Oh, I see. There's a clip up there. You see that clip right there? Hard to see, but it's right there. My finger's on the other side. It's holding it in, so you got to pull it down, and then it slides out. Okay. Get the gas line out of the way while you're doing it. Still gas coming out of this bad boy. This is not gonna be the best video I've ever made, but you know what? It's my first one. So, whatever. Okay, that dude is out of there. I'm gonna let it drain in the bucket. I'll be right back with you. Okay, here's the old filter. As you can see, it's a Napa Pro Sealed. So obviously this is not the original. So it has been changed. But if you look at the date on there, 1/25/07, so I mean, I don't know, that's when it was manufactured more likely. Who knows how long it's been in there, but whatever, it's definitely time. This thing also has a flow, so the arrow, you want to make sure when you put the new one on, the flow is going the same way. So the flow is going to go towards the front of the vehicle, so we'll make sure we follow that when we put it back on. Here's another little thing. Here's my bucket. All that brown stuff in there is what came out of this thing when I drained it in there. There's some pretty nasty looking gas, so I would say it's definitely time to change this bad boy out. So here's a new one. There's the clips that come just like that on the end. It's got these little plugs so you don't get a bunch of crud inside there before you install it. So I'm gonna pull those clips off real quick, and don't break these, but they come off real easy with your finger. One, there's two, and I'm gonna put this thing inside that hose clamp the way it goes, and then I'll come back and get those clips. So get my gas bucket out of the way. Oh boy. This is what you're going to end up with after you've got the filter out of there. Just drip gas on my phone. Okay. All right, so switch hands. So we're just going to take the new one. You got your flow going towards the front of the vehicle, which would be the driver's door, driver's side. Okay. So we're going to slide this dude up in here. Okay. And remember that clip that was up top? We want that to go around the lip of this thing. So, actually, I might just loosen this hose clamp a little bit more. I'm going to loosen this hose clamp a little bit more and come back to you. It's a two-handed operation. Okay, so now I've got this thing oriented back where it should be, inside the hose clamp. I got that clip. Let's see if I can get some light on that bad boy. It's not really a clip, more of a stop. Just a piece of metal tab that's, I guess it rubs up against or goes up against flush. That way it holds the fuel filter in the right spot. So what I'm going to do is just tighten that hose clamp the rest of the way. Kind of like, I'm going to push it up against that metal piece first. Just like that, and kind of hold it tight.